Once again, we're joined by retired Army General Paul Vallely. General, I want to go back first before we get to what Susan Rice said and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs said as well. I wanted you to get your assessment again on what's taking place behind closed doors about possibly allowing Kobani to fall as a gift, I guess, to Assad, to allow him to stay in power in Syria. All of this to appease the Iranians. Please go into this a little bit more.
Well, let me talk in depth on that. What we have occurring is a Syrian government in exile now, being fostered and nurtured by Turkey, supporting the Muslim Brotherhood with this General Vallely, where all the supplies and resources have to go to General Vallely for this Free Syrian Army, or the modern forces that are there to be a part of this Syrian government in exile. Now, it's clear that the White House and Turkey are working very closely with the Muslim Brotherhood. That's why they're going to allow Kobani to fall, and so that the influence of the Kurds in the north, who have been basically at odds with the Turkish government for a very long time. And so the Turkish government wants to see the Kurdish influence diminished. But you know, on the other hand, now if you have the closeness of the battle occurring in Baghdad, why, in fact, would you allow ISIS to gain even further control and not mount some kind of very heavy attacks upon them? So it's a very jumbled chessboard over there. But you have Russia now into the act supporting Assad. You have Hezbollah supporting Assad. You have Iran supporting Assad, and they do not want Assad to fall down or to collapse. And then on the other hand, you have Turkey, who would like to see the Assad government fall, and they're supporting the modern forces, the Free Syrian Army, with the selection of this Muslim Brotherhood dedicated General Vallely, B-E-L-L-I. So it's a mixed bag of worms, and of course we look like amateurs, the United States, in the participation in all of this.
Of course, this all goes back to that red line comment from the President. A lot of mixed messages, as again we heard from the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and from Susan Rice. But you know, do we, if we kind of put this decision in a vacuum, General, do we want Assad to remain in power? Because doesn't he go, then this thing really gets worse in Syria, the civil war. Don't we need him at this point?
No, we do not. I mean, this is a tyrant that's killed over 200,000 of his own people. He is protecting the Alawite sect in Syria, which he's a part of, and they're basically have gone into a corridor up there called the West Corridor of Syria, and that's the Alawite region all the way to the Mediterranean Sea and then north to the Turkish border. And that's what Assad is interesting and protected. He's lost 2/3 to 3/4 of his country already.
But General, that is, by this move that you're saying takes place, this is the Obama administration's calculation that they need Assad. He is I guess the cleanest shirt in a closet full of dirty clothes.
No, he's one of the dirtiest shirts. No, we don't need to be supporting that. You know, it's getting to the point where, you know, as I've analyzed this thing, I'm not sure we should put any more forces on the ground over there anymore, because we are so out of control ourselves with lack of a good policy. And I don't want to see any of our forces in harm's way anymore. You know, maybe it's best to let them all sort it out over there.
We heard the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs talk about Mosul. Do you think that applies even if ISIS really is knocking on Baghdad's door? Do you really feel that's the case?
Well, they've taken control up there in Mosul, Kirkuk, and the other areas, and basically we've not slowed at all to any great degree their movement throughout Iraq, and they're going to go all the way down to the Saudi border. Next, they're going to try to take the borders down of Jordan. And so it's such a mixed bag over there right now with all these different Arab countries, and they're not all on the same sheet of music. So therefore, with our weak strategy and lack of resolve, we don't have that much credibility anymore. So I'm not sure, we just should not let them all fight it out over there. Get it over with. It's their area, it's their land, and I don't want to see any more of our troops put in harm's way, unless we find that ISIS is a real threat to the United States and sending trained people.
We'll have to leave it there, General. We got to go. I thank you very much for your insight. Okay. A lot of moving parts in this debate. We'll keep going with Dr. Waleed Perez right after this.